said shit, man. We're ready. Oh, Kathy, are you going to know how to fade it out?
Nice.
Did you even notice, the shirt?
Did you play tuba?
No, I did not. I played the cornet, but I know tuba players kick brass.
That's got to be just a nightmare to be a tuba player as a kid.
Well, like the real, like the sousaphone level one, yeah, for sure. But this one, like, that's
I guess
that's like a heavy French horn, Either way, you're in band.
Yeah, they're still band.
Yeah, for sure. All right, are we good? 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, kiddies. All right, it's all in your hands now, Kathy. I better not be overmodulating. There better not be any.
You should be scared. You should be very scared.
There we go. Hey, everybody out there. Welcome to This Pink Cloud.
Welcome.
And this is season 2, episode 6. And I am DJ Kelly Reverb, and that is the Professor Nolen over there.
Hola, everybody.
Thank you for showing up,
I do Spanish
Professor
today.
Nolen.
I hope that's okay.
Yeah, no, he could do the entire episode in Hispaniola.
In Hispaniola?
That is correct.
Isn't that like an ancient island off of the...
Hispaniola, yes, of course. And then our guest, Edub, Eric Wilson. Love that guy.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Know him from Skate Straight.
Skate Straight.
Yeah, and so I've basically figured out the requirement to be on the show.
Okay.
You have to go to Skate Straight, right? No, and then
seems to be a pattern.
and then you have to have a sticker,
That part
right?
For sure.
Yeah.
And then you have to be in recovery somehow.
We can
So I
we
think-
can probably bend on that one if you've got a good sticker.
Yeah, I mean it's really all about if you have a good sticker,
Yeah.
you can be on the show.
You can come in really drunk.
Yeah.
Sticker's solid.
If your sticker solid, which is a solid sticker, by the way.
That's not bad.
Yeah. So, anyway, but other than that, Nolan, I know there's a little bit of a traffic issue out there.
Well, yeah. First off,
That's why we're a little bit tardy today.
to those that don't know, that wreck yesterday in Fort Worth, thoughts and prayers out to everyone.
Yeah,
That
for
was-
sure.
That was absolutely terrible.
Right.
I did not know it was on that level. I do some Uber driving on the side to make a little cash.
Right. So if you ever see the professor in the Uber world, tip him heavily.
Yeah.
Hey, you got us on Facebook, right, Kath?
I'm out there.
Okay.
But anyways, Kelly sent me a text yesterday. Said, "Hey, were you in that wreck?" I didn't. Even,
Yeah, I was like worried about my boy here,
Yeah.
and he's
I was like, I do drive, but I'm not in every wreck that happens in Fort Worth.
Right.
But I figured it was some kind of big, maybe 10 or 20 cars, 130 cars.
Yeah, and then
So,
the
yeah.
fatality.
Six
I
at
mean,
the
that's just got
moment.
to be scary, like just being sitting there, and then all of a sudden, big wheeler behind you,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, fudge.
Yeah, there was definitely a ball dropped somewhere for a wreck to be that bad. So
Yeah.
But thoughts and prayers out to all those folks. That's a bad deal. But yeah, the roads are still a little bit dicey out there, so had to creep at about 45 miles per hour the whole way. And
Sure, that
take
sounds
a couple of
sounds like a good excuse.
take a couple of stops along the way. The roads aren't that bad, but there's a few bridges where you got.
But your planning is that bad.
Yes, you got to watch yourself on some bridges.
The piddler on the roof.
I drive a long way.
Hey, and I like how you actually expedited your arrival by not getting your coffee
I
this
did,
morning.
yep, just-
your Guinness.
Well, I'll be honest, I am cheating. I've got my patented.
Oh, the energy,
my 5
energy
AG.
now. Well, and hey, I always travel with the
The
squirts.
squirts. I feel like that nickname's been used for something else, but
Well,
I can't
yeah, I don't know, but it just has Kroger on there. So I mean, whatever. Hey, Kroger, shout out. I love the squirts. Anyway.
But yeah, everybody be careful out there driving today. There's still some bad spots. So don't get lulled to sleep by thinking the roads are okay.
Right.
There's still some bad spots.
And so I've already told Eric that I was going to be him down like Oprah.
Uh-oh.
So
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Tissues?
yeah, well, we
Tissues?
might have to use a Lone Star shirt for that. So little tear rag.
The shoulder can be cried.
Yeah, of course, no. But no, Eric is a very sweet individual.
Okay.
And a very likable guy.
Look at this. You're getting a nice
And yeah, hold on, don't start crying yet. Don't start crying yet. But he also has his own skate company called Edubs.
Okay.
And has his own board, wax. We'll get into that fun stuff later. But basically, Eric and I met at Skate Straight, and he, has a very compelling story about his, road to ruin, and then into his recovery, and then into ruin, and then into recovery again.
It happens that way sometimes. I'm on a similar path at the moment.
So I'll go ahead and kick you off. You actually did some homework and actually sent me something via email so I could prep. But I guess we'll start you off when you were about 10, and then just take it from there and just be sure and speak into the microphone, bud.
Well, like you said, we did meet at Skate Straight, but we go back a little bit further than that.
That is true.
We have a
You
mutual
were
friend.
you had a little doogie root. You want to
Yes.
get that out of the way?
Yes,
What's
and
up?
I used to follow him around when he DJ'd. So
Right.
I think I might have met you like way back in the 90s.
And he was one of my stalkers.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. But so y'all were in the scene. Y'all were doing meltdowns back in the day.
Right.
Those are big festivals for those of y'all not in the know.
Some
But
of the
I was
blacker
curious,
days.
so
yeah,
appreciate the definition.
you got it. So go ahead.
Yeah, those back in the some of the darker days.
Right.
back
So
then.
so let's start off at 10. So
So my dad brought home a skateboard for me. He got I think it was at a police auction. He used to go to like police auctions all the time.
sweet, dude.
And scored
You
one
can
of those.
score there. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
score good stuff at police auctions.
It was really cool. I wish I would have kept it. I mean, I wish I would have kept almost all my skateboards that I
Right.
had.
Yeah.
But it was like an old like Coca-Cola skateboard.
Ooh,
it had like
nice.
this big shark on it with a Coca-Cola can.
Sweet.
But I rode that, and then I started reading like Thrasher magazine or something, and I used to like skate out in my front yard and do little jumps off, like the little bench we had out in front
Right.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so my older sister, she used to hang out with like all the cool like skater guys and stuff in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And they like one of her friends gave me a skateboard, like my first like real pro skateboard.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Santa Cruz Rob Roscop with slime ball wheels and like going trucks. I still remember that's my first board.
OMG,
my first
dude.
baby.
No, like Nolan and I are like, oh, that's something special.
yeah, it was. I mean, I'll never forget my first.
Right.
And so,
Okay.
So they built a little ramp, like a little half pipe in our backyard, and they kind of taught me how to skate. So I learned how to skate on ramps, and
Right.
like half pipes and stuff like that.
They
Mhm.
So,
built a little half pipe.
yes, it
Just
was
like one of those little.
A mini half pipe?
Right,
Yeah.
mini half pipe.
Okay.
Well, see, it was started out. It was 4 feet tall and like 8 foot wide. Started out 4 feet tall because the guys that built it were like vert skaters.
Right.
Like they used to skate the big, huge vert ramps.
That's not too
So
little.
yeah, so they built basically a 4 foot tall vert ramp.
Okay.
Like it was kind of had transitioned and it went straight up for like half a foot.
Ah.
So I think it was scary.
Yeah.
Like, at
Drop
first.
in on that.
Yeah. So we actually had to cut like half a foot off the top of it so we could even
not
skate
die.
it.
To make
Right, right.
to make it E-dub size.
To die.
Right, exactly.
Die.
Edub size, yeah.
To die
Right.
a little less.
But I mean, over the years, I think it was so sketchy. I mean, because it just had plywood on
Right.
it, because we couldn't afford like skate light, or the expensive stuff.
Right.
So that plywood, would get weathered, and from the wheels of skating and stuff like that, it would get holes in it.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of like putting new wood on it, we would like get Coke cans and smash them up and patch the holes with Coke cans.
Nice.
Speaking of Coke, now when did
Nice transition.
When did you,
That was a great transition.
when did your journey with excessive usage start? I mean, was that back when you were 10
So
or
basically, fell in love
No.
with skateboarding. Fell
Yes.
in love with skateboarding culture.
Right.
And then,
And I kind of stuck with it, and throughout high school, like I was always just skateboarding. That's all I focused on was skateboarding, and I was also like very like anti-drug and drinking in high school because my whole thing was like I wrecked the outside of my body enough. I don't want to wreck the inside of my body.
Sure.
But when I got older, I started kind of getting into more things, and then when I was like 19, 20, I got sponsored by a skate shop, and they had a shop out in Hawaii. So they wanted to send me out to Hawaii to do some competitions and demos and promote the Hawaii shop. So before that, I kind of started partying a little bit, started dabbling here and there, like started, like trying different kind of drugs like hallucinogens and stuff like that. A lot just kind of where it started.
Right.
And then, and when I got to Hawaii, it was like, I went out there with the expectations like, oh, I'm going to be a superstar. I'm going to go out there I'm going to be a pro skateboarder.
And that is the home of Maui Wowie.
Yeah, and I was on Maui. I just
right.
happened to be on Maui.
Right.
But when I got out there, it kind of really wasn't like that because I was an outsider from Texas.
Sure.
And the Hawaiians don't really take very kindly to that.
Yeah, they don't like the mainlanders.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially in the skateboard community as well.
Sure.
Like I got shunned. Like they didn't like me at all. Like I would go in there and skate competitions, without trying to sound like I had a big ego. Like I was obviously a lot better than some of the kids there, but I would always get last place. Never because all the judges and everybody there were locals. So
little nepotism,
right.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So with that, I was kind of bummed out about it. So like. Even I was in Hawaii, I started kind of like push away from skateboarding a little bit and like started partying more. Like the people I would hang out with, like nobody really skated.
Sure.
They were just like party people. So we'd always go out there and, and that's, pretty much when I get introduced to the cocaine plant.
Okay.
So
like tried a couple.
19, 20 years old, give or take.
Right. I was
what
around
year
20.
Are we talking as well?
This was 98.
98.
Yes.
Okay.
That was a good year.
Yes.
Good year.
So I was out there for a while, and I was actually living in the back of the skate shop, and it was there. So, and I was like actually partying one night, and like a bunch of stuff happened, and I was like so messed up that I just kind of left all these people partying in the skate shop. So you say a bunch of stuff got stolen. So I got in a lot of trouble for that, and basically when
I see that you're processing this guilt and shame right now.
Yes. We actually talked about this last Tuesday.
Yeah,
It was kind of the first time I was like really open about
right. Yeah.
stuff that happened. So
so you partied, so you left the store open,
Right.
so people
so
borrowed
stole a
some
bunch of
stuff without paying for it.
Right. So I came back to the mainland after that because I was like, that's kind of over with. And
Probably people were out to get you.
Yeah. So I came back and I was skating a little bit, and I started getting like heavy into the party scene here. I was going to the church like every Sunday night.
Right.
And
There was a party scene here?
Yeah.
Wow.
So like I just kind of dove head first into it. And,
Sure.
I started doing a lot more hallucinogens and started, dabbling more with like cocaine and stuff like that. And this is back before I was even drinking. Like,
I was going to say, was the alcohol paired with that? Or?
That was afterwards.
Okay.
That was later down the road.
Okay.
Like, I didn't even actually have my first beer until I was like 24.
Wow.
Something like that.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
I drank liquor before that.
Sure, but you
I
went
stomach beer.
you went straight to hallucinogens first, and then
Right.
Okay.
Right. And all that stuff.
Okay.
So when I came back, I just, just kind of got really wrapped up in the drugs, and started doing that hardcore. But then I kind of tried to slow down a little bit and started getting back into skateboarding.
Right.
And then I got hooked up with another shop, like another local chain of shops around Texas. And I kind of slowed down on the drugs a bit. Not all the way, but a bit.
Right.
I
Yeah,
started skateboarding more, and I kind of got back into it. And I was actually a team manager for one of the local skate shops here.
Okay.
And we started a team. And back then, and this was like 99, this is around 2000 actually. And back then, around 2000, skateboard companies used to travel around a lot and do like demos and stuff like that.
Sure.
They don't really do it so much anymore, but
Right.
we would travel around, like around DFW, but we would travel around, our team would travel around to different areas and do like demonstrations for kids.
Sure.
And like I signed a couple of autographs. I mean,
Ooh,
I wasn't that great,
holla.
but I was like, it made me feel cool.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
some kid wants my
Ego
autograph.
a little bit.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I did that for a little bit while, and I mean, I was actually, getting good, and it was kind of going up there, and then I got hurt.
Right.
Okay.
I pulled a bunch of muscles in my lower back and slipped a disc, and I was out. Like, I couldn't even walk for like a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I had to
lower
go through
back
physical therapy. Right. Yeah. It still comes back to haunt me every once in a while.
Right.
So that kind of put me out, and I couldn't really skate anymore, and like I could barely like walk,
Sure.
like, anymore. So that kind of put me down on skateboarding, and that's when I had woke up and kind of realized, like, oh wow, like I can't do this forever. I might
Right.
have to start trying to find a real job kind of thing. And
Real
so
job.
around that time, my dad passed away, and that kind of woke me up a little bit, and that's when I like kind of completely like quit drugs, like quit doing all that stuff, because I was just like in a bad place,
Sure.
and like I didn't really have a very good relationship with my dad because of me. It like wasn't his fault.
Sure.
It was my
Right.
fault,
Right.
'cause I was busy. Like I had my head.
You were
in the drugs
party
and stuff like
skate boy.
Yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Pursuing other things, and yeah.
Right.
I gotcha.
Right. So when he passed away, it kind of hit me kind of hard.
Right,
Like quit
I gotcha.
all of that. So, and then fast forward a little bit, I get married, have kids, and everything, and I mean that was going
Fast
good for
forward
a
a
little
little
bit.
bit. Fast forward a little
bit.
bit. Yeah, sure. Okay.
And then shortly, like after her and I got married, I started drinking. That's when we started drinking.
And
a lot,
you
started
are
drinking more.
what age?
At this point, I'm 23, 24.
Okay.
So start drinking a little more. And then she kind of caught
Were
on.
you a beer guy or
A liquor guy.
A liquor
I was a
guy.
guy.
So
I was always drinking liquor. But
okay.
then I tried to slow down on liquor and go to beer.
Of
And, like
course,
that's when I
yeah,
had like my
because-
first beer. I had to make myself drink beer.
Yeah.
Because I hated it at first.
Oh, yeah.
Like I couldn't drink beer.
Oh, yeah.
Like, for the longest time.
Sure.
So, we were married, have kids, and I was drinking,
Two
like
kids?
when we go out. I have 2 kids. Yes.
You want to give him a shout out real quick?
Yes. And Jude and Presley.
Okay.
Love you very much.
There you go.
Hope you don't see this because I don't want
Yeah. You don't want to know about your dad's evil side. Right.
How old are they now?
Jude is 15 and Presley's 13.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
and me and their mom, we've been split up since a little bit before Presley's birthday. So we've been
Okay.
split up for 13 years now.
Okay.
So before, and this actually, before the kids were born, because we were married a couple of years before we had kids. And I started drinking a lot, like with friends and partying. But, like my wife at the time, she could tell, like, it was kind of becoming a problem, the way I would drink. Because I couldn't just drink like a couple. She noticed, like, right away. I was like, I had to slam them, like a bunch of them, until I was,
Right.
like, really drunk. And so she kind of wanted me to slow down and stop for a while. So that became, like, with me hiding it from her, like.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She went to nursing school, and she had to go through like a long time of rotations in the hospital through her school, and she was doing those overnight. So while she was gone, I was drinking. Like,
Oh yeah,
all
of
that.
course, yeah. Hey, I know that well. I can relate. Yeah. Oh, Waverly's at work. Cool, dude.
Right. Yeah, that would be my drink time.
Yeah, of course.
But then, after we
And I'm
split
sure you
up-
did that well.
Oh, yes.
Right. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then after we split up, of course, that's the first thing I did. Like I drank. Like
Well, yeah. Now the
Now that
shackles
the
are
boss
off.
is gone,
Right.
yeah,
exactly.
right.
Yeah. I mean, even the day we split up, I went straight to the bar. Like I don't
Yeah.
remember. You remember billiard bar? Like
Yeah,
that
oh,
was
yeah.
my
Yeah,
home
yeah.
away from home. I used to go
Yeah.
there like quite a bit. So I was there like all the time, and
Mm-hmm.
started drinking, like party drinking, and like just going out, and that lasted for years, and for almost about 15 years,
Mm-hmm.
that lasted. I drinking. I, at that point, I had completely quit skateboarding. Never touched a skateboard again.
Right.
And I just chose to drink.
Right.
And started going into the party scene, stuff like that.
Sure.
So,
Here, JP, I'm gonna have you pull up some photos of the party scene.
no.
Let's see. Yeah,
That's good.
yeah.
Oh, you
I've
got
done.
some-
I did
some
some.
old pics?
I did
Yeah,
some
these are
research.
surprise pictures.
I did some research. Let me see what we got. Oh, my
jeez.
God.
Yes, that's my friend Lindsay, one of my best. She lives in Georgia.
Yes.
Actually, I talked to her last night. She
All right.
just randomly texted me. It was like, hey,
Hey,
where
I
did-
wonder.
doing
I
great.
wonder why.
So where
I
did-
wonder if it was because I got in touch with her.
I was gonna say, where's the source of these
Oh,
pictures?
oh.
How How do we come up with these?
Well, I don't know, but
that's
that looks like
probably
a
one of
that looks
hers.
like a good time to me.
That's a solid
Yeah.
Polaroid scanned into a scanner, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like it.
possibly.
Yes.
I like it.
Let's move on to the next one. By the way, hi Lindsay, thanks for the pictures. Let's see what else we have here.
Oh.
JP, on to the next one. Let's see what we have. Oh, there we go. That is the recreation of the
Right.
press photo. I don't know if you have the older one, JP, of Eric and
That's
Doogie
Yes.
doing their "We're Number One" pose.
Right.
And
He's
he's-
number
he's-
2.
he's
I'm
number
number
He's
1.
yeah,
Right,
he's got
right.
the scissors. The scissors. Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
that's the
there's the
original.
original.
Before
That
and
wa-
after.
and I believe that
Yes.
was at Meltdown 1.
I believe it was.
If I
Yes,
am
it was.
correct. Okay. So
Well,
go ahead.
oh, I was just gonna say, I hear a lot. A couple of things that are pretty common, at least from what your story is that the priority of skateboarding or things that you love, that priority just and drinking becomes a bigger priority, and it's a thing that whittles down over time. And
Right.
there's those moments where you notice it and you're like, whoa, I got to get this more in line or whatever. And that ability to sort of get it in line, you kind of lose that ability
Right.
over time. It becomes harder to get in line. And then the other thing is that, and we've had a few guests, I think, so far, and I certainly know a lot of people that have had that sort of, their experience with drugs gets out of hand fast, which drugs tend to do.
Right.
And then you're like, okay, no more of that, just drinking. And then years later down the
Sure.
road, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that doesn't work either.
I've forgotten everything I love.
That doesn't work either.
And I am a slave.
And I lost a decade trying.
Hey, so let's pull up another. There should be one of him, I think, on a skateboard, looking sad.
Oh, no. Oh,
Let's see what else. There we go.
Oh, man.
That's a good one. Okay, so now, we don't ever normally talk about stories, but let's get a little story time with him, because I have information over here that he needs.
You have some in mind.
Yes, there's a vomit story, and there is a vomit and maybe something with the devil in the vomit, a demon in the vomit story.
What is happening?
I have my sources.
What did I sign up for?
Yeah, I have my sources. So why don't you please tell us that story?
Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, so glad I didn't tell my mom about this to watch it.
She knows more than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably does. So I'm going to call him out. Doogie and I
Yes.
were hanging out, and we used to hang out with a group of friends that hung out with the exotic dancer crowd, like quite a bit. One of our best friends, his
Of
girlfriend,
course.
With, like,
7
hula
times a
dancers,
dancer.
I love that.
belly dancers, or
Yeah, you can say that, or the exotic pole dancers. We'll say that. So, one of our good friends.
I was a fan of that community.
Yeah, one of our best friends, his girlfriend was a dancer, and
Oh, dude! So you're the insider. Then you
Right.
got the
Yes.
friends' friends.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, you got
Exactly.
the auto hookup. Yeah.
So
I
we
like
would
that
party
angle.
with them a lot, and that was at the time we had a lot of drugs around. And I think this one particular night we had a bunch of mushrooms, and we were at the club, and we had all come back to their apartment, and a bunch of dancers came back with us. And there was one in particular that was a little more crazy than the other ones, and she was known for trying to just hit on and flirt with everybody.
good stuff.
So
Okay.
we had eaten the mushrooms, and we're at that point. I started feeling really nauseous and like I was going to be sick. So I go into the bathroom, and I'm just kind of by myself trying to get away from everybody, like in the bathroom. And she comes in and tries to like make out with me and like all this stuff.
Making the move while you're mid hurl.
Right.
Okay.
So I told her, like, just get out. Like, I don't want you here. Just get out. Leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And then she walks out the door, and I guess, like, the walk of shame, and you can just hear everybody laughing. Like, out there.
You got
as she
shot
walks
down
out.
by
Yeah.
a guy throwing up.
So Doogie comes in there,
Uh-huh.
and he's, like, trying to be the friend, like, are you okay? Like, all that. And then he makes a joke about something, and I don't even remember what it was, but I just started laughing. And while I started laughing, that pushed everything out. And it was like, bleh.
Right.
All the demons came out. So, like,
Okay.
I threw up in the toilet, And if you've ever done mushrooms, you know, after you vomit, that's when it kicks in. You know, that's
Okay.
when the hallucinogens
Nolen,
really
can
start
you-
to take effect on
Yeah.
I guess so. I don't know.
that. I mean, that's
Okay,
kind of
so
what happened
yes,
in this situation.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
never
Yeah.
paid attention close enough. I guess.
I gotcha.
So after that, like after I threw up, I just was looking at the toilet, and I saw these little. At the time, there was a skateboard company called World Industries.
Okay.
And one of their little logos was like a little devil, and I saw the little devil from the logo. Like it looked like he was swimming around like in the vomit in the toilet. And that's when I started freaking out. And I looked at the floor, and it looked like dragons, you know, were like swimming around.
Ah.
And that's why I looked at Doogie. I was like, "Oh, I'm freaking out!" Like, so. Yeah.
So then we
that's
did
the
some more
vomit
mushrooms,
story.
and then did it for about a week in a row. And
So
Yeah.
let's see. So we are. Where were we in story time? You
Oh,
split
yeah.
From your wife.
Right. Yeah, we're
and-
kind of going back.
what
and
age?
forth.
No, you're good.
What?
Yeah,
What?
it's
Yeah,
fun.
you're at party
That's fun.
time, beer time before divorce time.
Right.
Yeah,
started
that
doing
was okay.
Right. And then we split up, you know, and I just started partying hardcore, like going out with my friends, like hitting the bars, stuff like that. And at this point, I was still kind of like a social drinker, you know,
Right.
like going out and drinking. But then I would start drinking by myself, like more and more and more. And, you know, this was over the span, you know, of like 10 plus years. And then for a little while, my kids actually went to New Zealand with their mom,
Oh.
and they lived there for a couple of years.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd love to
that's
go.
that's kind of why I wasn't gonna fight it, and I
Right.
wasn't gonna be like, oh no, they have to. Stay
Yeah,
here,
dude, you get
know,
to go
like,
to
that's a
New
cool
Zealand,
experience.
dude.
Yeah.
Have at it.
Exactly, it was awesome.
Yeah.
So while they were gone, you know, like of course I had that void because you know I would hang out with them quite a bit. So I started drinking a lot, and I started playing in a couple of bands. Like I started getting into music. I started playing like in a couple of little punk rock bands.
What did you play?
So first I played in a ska band called Monkey Sphere, and I played a theremin in the ska band.
The theremin, which
Yes.
takes the most skill
Yeah.
ever, right?
ever
Everybody
heard of Fishbone?
who's not aware of what a theremin is, it's like a pair of TV antennas,
Right.
and it's the sci-fi,
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
And I got really into it, and I did some crazy stuff. Like I hooked a wah pedal up to it, so I
Right.
could distort the sound even
Dude,
more.
that goes hand in hand with the shrooms, man. Right there, dude.
Yeah, but
I
this is
mean,
way after the shrooms, but yeah.
Okay.
And then I play bass in another band called Sex Regrets.
Okay.
Like our singer Jen, she sang in both bands. And our guitarist our bass player for Monkey Sphere came over and played guitar in Sex Regrets.
Oh, okay.
And then we had another female drummer. So we were kind of like the riot girl punk, kind of like Bikini Kill, kind of stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So with that, you know, I started going to shows. I was always at shows. I was playing at shows. So, you know, I was drinking then, drinking a lot more. And, but still, like, I wasn't like, you know, when we were out, there is a couple of times, of course, I would just get hammered.
Right.
Couldn't walk anymore. But most of
Sure.
the times, my heavy drinking would be like after the show when I got home. You know,
Sure.
I was still drinking by myself.
Right.
Even though I was like out all the time and like in the scene, I was still kind of like in the corner, you know, and I would like go home and drink. And so the kids came back, you know, from New Zealand, and I quit playing music, you know, because I wanted to spend more time with them and hang out. I just didn't have time anymore.
You had to quit the
So-
band, dude.
Right.
Priorities,
I had to quit
right.
the band.
You
and
had your kids and then alcohol. Right,
Exactly.
yeah.
And at that time, I also got remarried.
No,
I was married a
okay.
second time to a girl I went to high school with. I like had a crush on her in high school, so I thought she would still kind of be cool like years
Right.
later. But
Sure.
no.
Okay.
But so we were only married a year because on her year anniversary, I found out she had been cheating on me. You know, so I
bonus.
left. But I don't like almost like place all the blame on her because I was still drinking heavily and I was hiding it from her.
Sure.
You know, she was always busting
She was
me,
just
like-
hiding the sex from you.
Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Not the best environment.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It was bad on both sides. It was like super toxic.
Yeah.
So we only lasted like a year. And so like right after we split, that's the first thing I did. I was like, oh sweet, I don't have to hide it anymore. I can just sit here and drink by myself. You know, like all the time. So at that point, I like pretty much quit talking to my friends, quit going out, like quit talking to my family. Like I'll just stay held up in my apartment and drink. And a couple months after that, we split up. I had a heart attack.
Oh, wow.
I had a 99% blockage in my main artery, and which caused a heart attack. And after that, you think that would be kind of my wake up call? Be like,
Sure.
slow down.
What age were you when that happened?
I was 41.
Okay.
When that,
Okay.
I'm 43 now. So
And what
I was
sort of
41.
led to that? I mean, was it the way you
Just-
were living? Yeah.
Yes. Lack of exercise because
Yeah.
I got super complacent, and just my eating habits. I was
Sure.
eating like horrible and drinking and like everything. So
Sure.
I was just like,
And I'm sure you were eating very healthy, correct?
right. Yes. I mean, I was just basically treating my body like a dumpster.
Sure.
Yeah. Right?
It was horrible. It was bad.
Right.
So like after my heart attack, that you would think that would be my wake up call. Like, you need to change your lifestyle, quit drinking and do this. But I felt like I got worse. Like after that, like shortly after my heart attack, like when I was supposed to be, rehabilitating and taking care of myself, like I took that opportunity to start drinking more. And it got to a bad pattern. where I
And you
was just
probably
like-
had some prescription medicines with the drinking as well.
not anything. That
Yeah,
would,
nothing
like-
nothing fun.
No, nothing fun.
I gotcha.
Just basically blood thinners,
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Sure.
Things like that. But yeah, I mean that lasted for like over a year. After my heart attack, I was still like just
So 42, 43.
right.
Okay.
I mean, well, until
I'm over here taking notes
Yeah.
like I'm okay, yes.
Right.
Uh-huh.
So-
42, 43. Uh-huh.
Right, so after my heart attack, this lasted about another year. Completely cut everybody out of my life
Mm-hmm.
and stayed drunk by myself like all the time.
Sure.
Like it was my favorite thing in the world to do. Get up at Saturday at 7:00 in the morning and be drunk by 9.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Well-
I love those tequila breakfast shots.
Oh yeah, for
It's
sure.
always how it ends. Everybody has been pushed away.
Right.
It's everybody at arm's length because there's one goal
Right.
for the day today, and that's as much of this in me as possible.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh hey, I always love that when I do that.
But,
Hey,
um,
That
um,
woke me up.
I had like my routine, like every Friday, because the office where I was working at, there was, I'd pass liquor stores on the way home. So every Friday I would stop there and get enough liquor to last me for the weekend. And, stop at Walmart and get like a couple of crappy like frozen pizzas, or something. And I would not leave my apartment from Friday night.
Were you
until
a
Monday
dark
morning.
liquor drinker or I see you as a
Yeah.
Canadian mist kind of guy.
Kentucky Deluxe?
Trying to break your brain.
I'm
Yeah.
profiling.
yeah. I went more Kentucky Deluxe. I would
Oh,
drink that,
there we
but-
go.
But
Okay.
towards the end, I was drinking a lot of tequila.
Okay.
Like, I love tequila because
Oh my god, dude! I've seen people go off the wheels, dude. That just stuff makes you crazy.
yeah,
That was instant blackout for me.
Really?
If I was doing the vodka and then I would throw the tequila in on top of it, that's night time. Yeah, that's
Time to time travel.
no, that's when the body just goes, "Hey, Kelly, I got this from here."
Let's do a little time travel.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like 5 hours later.
Yeah.
What happened?
jeez.
Yeah.
But,
So you were doing Kentucky's finest, and
So yeah,
Right.
weekends are boarded up essentially in your apartment, drinking as much as possible. Weekdays are what? You got a law job or something on the side? Or?
right. Well, I mean, I had my full-time job, my 9 to 5, and I would drink enough when I got home to where I knew I wouldn't be terribly hungover the next day, to where I could still function.
Okay.
I mean, I was still drinking, I was drinking every night, but I wouldn't drink enough to where I couldn't function.
You
the
wouldn't
next
do it
day
like
at
you
work.
did on the weekends.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
On the weekend, I just stayed drunk. It was like a shot every 20 minutes or so. Like I was like constant.
right.
I'd wake up and, like I said, 7:00 in the morning, be drunk by 9,
Mm-hmm.
take a nap around 11 or 12, and wake up. a couple
So
hours
okay,
later.
so we've established you had a problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so now let's talk about. So you get to this point where you realize your life is unmanageable.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
So then it gets to there, and then what do you try to do and what age is this, by the way? 43,
this
or
is-
when do you decide
Yeah,
to
what-
make your first effort
what
to
happened?
get clean?
This is 42.
Okay.
This time.
So yeah, what
Well,
happens? What spurs this?
Well, so I should back up a little bit. Probably about 6 years ago, I actually tried to quit drinking for a while when I started going to 12-step programs.
Okay.
Hey, so that lasted about 6 months.
Okay.
I wasn't really happy with the group I was in. I was going to. I had a couple of bad experiences with sponsors.
Mhm.
Like one guy that just pretty much just came up to me and was like, "I'm your sponsor," and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know how that worked like that. But
Yeah, sure.
But he was just like a little over the top, and like he was super angry, just angry at the world, and
Uh-huh.
was constantly berating me, telling me, I'm a piece of crap, and, like,
nice,
I'm worthless.
dude.
and
Yeah,
blah,
which
blah, blah. So that kind of was like
that might turn one off from a said
Right.
12-step
Yeah.
program.
Yeah. So
Sure.
I mean, I just had to be honest with him and tell him, I was like, this is not working out. Like,
Or
you're
how
too
did he
over the
take
top.
the breakup?
I think he's used to that. So he was
Okay.
like,
Probably.
whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're not his
Wasn't-
first.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
I gotcha.
So then I had another guy try to be my sponsor, but it just so happened, he was trying to get into the tattoo industry. It was like
Okay.
jailhouse tattoos.
Uh-huh.
And I have a good friend of mine that owns a shop. And so he was kind of trying to use me as his way into the shop to try to get a job.
Okay.
And, basically when I told him, I was like, no, that's not going to happen. He kind of left me alone.
Right.
So
that was your experience with the 12 steps.
right. That was my experience with the 12 steps.
And then so obviously then that didn't necessarily take, right?
Right. And at that time, it was like I said, it was about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then for a while, I was like, I don't need this. Like, I'm not drinking. I haven't drank in 6 months.
Mhm.
Whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need these kooky people like around
Yeah.
me and all
Right.
that. So I tried to do it by myself, and I think that might have lasted a month, maybe.
Okay.
If
Okay.
that.
Sure.
Because of course it started out was like, I'm just gonna go out and have a couple of drinks,
Yeah.
here and there.
Right.
That's cool. I can
Socially.
manage
I
that.
gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, oh, this will be fun, and then
Mhm.
it just like all of a sudden like. It was like
Right.
out of nowhere.
Tends to do
It's like
that.
right where you're at.
Yeah.
So, and then when I was in the 12-step program, they drilled in your head, like at this group when I was at, like,
Mhm.
that's basically all there is. 12-step, that's all there is. This
Sure.
program,
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
nothing else out there. So
Right.
for the longest time, I believe that's all there was.
And if that couldn't fix you, then you were unfixable,
Right,
and you
exactly.
would just have to do it on your own.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
for the longest time, I was like, I just can't do it. Like
Uh-huh.
I'm not happy with that group. I don't want to go through all that stuff again. Like I don't know what to do. So I just kept drinking. And I knew I had a problem, and I just hated my life, and I hated the way I felt physically, mentally. Like I hated everything about it, and I wanted to stop. I just didn't know where to go. And then Kurt from Skate Straight had posted something about Skate Straight. This
Skate
is
Straight.
like Skate Straight yes.
Sticker.
Anyway. And this is like their very first meeting. He posted something about it, and I looked at it, and I was like, "Oh wow, skateboarding and sobriety stuff." I was like,
Yeah,
that's
so
awesome.
so just a little so the kids know, Kurt was actually 2 months out of rehab himself when he started Skate
Right.
Straight. Which is advisable, but he did he was when did he become a licensed smart recovery meeting?
I couldn't tell you exactly,
But
it's,
was
it's
it
been-
around that time that did he started?
believe it
Because
was
I
a
know
little
that
bit
he
after.
wanted to start a smart recovery meeting.
Because he's probably going to correct me on this, but if I'm not mistaken, Stev that goes to our meetings as
Uh-huh.
well, I believe she was a licensed facilitator before Kurt. And
Uh-huh.
then Kurt got his, or it could have been the other way around.
I got you.
So
Right. Well, so here, let me while we're bringing Kurt up, I'll bring
Okay.
here's where he get the tissues. This is a
no.
a quote that Kurt said, because I was obviously digging for dirt or fun pictures of you.
the truth comes out.
So he said, so this is, I quote Mr. Eichelberger. When I was trying to do everything and kind of losing my mind a little bit, it was about, and I was about to call the whole thing off, Eric and Stev stepped in and helped me and Skate Straight continuously, had meetings and content online. It became what it is today because of him and Stev's help. Oh, there we
That's
go.
Cool.
Little warm and fuzzy.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait, hold on.
Not yet.
No,
Not yet.
no,
Not there
no.
yet. Yeah.
He's not. I failed. But anyway, so that's what
Yeah.
Kurt said about you, and Skate Straight is a
That's
great
awesome.
place to
Thank
go.
you, Kurt.
Yeah. So, but I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no worries. Yeah, I saw his post for like the first meeting, and so I was really interested in it, and I actually messaged Kurt, and I was like, "Hey, like I really want to get sober, like I'm, really want to do this," and I actually asked him if he had any other suggestions for like different like programs or anything like that, and
Sure.
he sent me information about Smart Recovery, and that's when I learned about Smart. I was kind of blown away. I was like, I didn't know any of this was out here. Like, I didn't know there was anything else, like, at all.
Right.
So I started kind of looking into that. And I actually did not go to the first Skate Straight meeting because I was still drunk a little bit. So I skipped out on the first
Well, a lot of
meeting.
people have gone to those meetings using, so
Yes.
it's okay, and we welcome that.
Well, I mean, it's not okay, but
Well,
we're not
I
going to
mean,
shun you.
yeah,
We're not going to
exactly.
push you away,
Right.
kind of thing.
Yeah,
so.
stopping's not always easy.
Right,
Sure.
right, right.
Glad you're here either way.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
Just be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so I went to the second Skate Straight meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and I've been going ever since. And I have a year sober as of last week.
Cool.
Oh
I have
wow,
a year
that's
now,
great.
so-
Oh, I saw you actually have your little chippy chip holder there. Yeah.
Oh yes,
right, by the way.
yes.
And
Thank you.
hey, while we're having a chip off, dude. Today for my well, you can pull yours out. Go ahead. Everybody wants to see your chip, but it is the official switching of the chip for me because today is 7 months.
You and your fancy chips.
Awesome.
Today, so 6th goes into the binder.
What is that,
And
copper?
then 7 goes into the wallet.
So 7 is copper.
7 months.
Yes.
It's 7 is red brass.
That is my 1 year chip, and I had to go a little fancy and buy a little keychain holder.
A little holder, yeah. Well, I upgraded on the 6-month chip. So,
Yes.
yeah. And I will be upgrading on the year chip.
Yeah,
you
the-
know.
well,
Yes.
the year ones generally are like, thicker metal or whatever.
Right.
Not the
Right.
plastic, but
Sure.
there's all kinds of stuff.
Oh, I know. Yeah, you can.
Right.
You can get like
You could probably get some
actually
custom design.
24 karat gold and yeah.
I spent like 2 hours.
Well,
like,
while we're
looking for the
playing,
perfect
while we're
one.
playing show and tell, hey JP, can you pull up those videos now that we have? Which one do you have? Well, let's pull up Fat Guy Goes Boom.
Yes, that
'Cause
was-
I like this one.
So that was me. Our team took a trip to Paris, Texas, a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And I was skating at the skate park. Sometimes I forget, like I'm in my 40s and I'm still trying to skate.
Sure.
And this is basically me taking a hard slam and getting my bell rung.
Now what I hear about this is somebody told me that it is a direct correlation. If you cannot land a trick, it is because of your footwear. Is that right?
It's because of
Your footwear, what you're wearing, your shoes, correct?
no. Well, it could be, but I have the right shoes on.
The old head
Look,
snap back.
look.
Yes.
That's always
I kind of missed it, but whatever. It's all good. There we go. Oh, there we go. Good
Yeah.
one. Good one. And you lost the beanie too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beanie
That's how
came
you
off.
can tell that.
I like the.
That's how you
yeah.
can tell his head snapped back and smacked. him.
There you go. That looks like a little bit of pain right there.
Yeah, it hurt a little
all right,
bit.
and then we'll go to the next video, and this is actually y'all skating over who we had on last week, which was Ty, and
Right.
Ty often does this at Skate Straight, plays his guitar,
Yes.
and
I was like, how did
It
he wander
should-
into skate straight?
randomly, but this is people skating over Ty.
Yeah. Ty's one of our favorites. That's the kind of fun things we do
Seeing
at
how
Skate Street.
how it all ties in.
How it's
How it all ties
Ty gets on a
in.
board sometimes
Oh,
with
yeah.
his boots and his hats. I actually have a big longboard that I bring just for Ty because he
Yeah.
likes
Right.
riding the
He
longboard.
can actually
it
play
a
the
little easier.
guitar and skate simultaneously,
Right.
and sing, of course. Which is a talent in
it's a
itself.
triple threat.
It is.
Exactly. If the voice wasn't good enough for you, he can do it while skating.
So what sort of prompted? I mean, obviously, you didn't like the way things were going in life. But was there anything that kind of spurred you into trying to get sober, or was it just tired of the monotony?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
just sick of everything.
Yeah.
And it's funny you say that because ask that question because that's one of the things I also kind of struggled with going to 12-step programs because like everybody in there is like I went to prison, I got in a wreck, DWI, blah blah blah, and I'm just like I'm here because I don't want to drink.
I'm a little
And I always felt
fluffy
like-
guy, and I don't want to drink anymore.
I know it's just in my head, and I know it's ridiculous, but I feel like everybody in the room is like, oh, this guy, like,
Yeah.
screw that guy, like, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You haven't done enough. You
Definitely.
you don't have
Right.
enough DUIs,
Yeah.
and you haven't done any time on the inside, so
Definitely.
you're out of here.
Definitely a lot in your head, but hey, it happens.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it feels real enough in your head.
Sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of it. I think the idea that some sort of big catastrophic thing, like you're talking about with your heart attack,
Right.
some sort of big catastrophic thing, all of a sudden, now I got to get sober.
Yeah,
I gotta-
Right.
there's an epiphany point.
Yeah, this magical bottom or something. this
Right,
big thing
yeah.
happens.
Right.
A lot of times it's just like, wow, I am just worn down.
Yeah,
Yes.
mine was kind of like that. I was just like, is this the bottom? Could I go lower?
Yeah.
Probably.
Just
Do I want to go lower?
or
Not
something.
really.
Just
So,
worn down
yeah.
with the constant, wow, every day is the exact same.
Right.
Yeah, the whole Groundhog Day
Yeah.
Scenario.
Right.
Yeah, no, I get that for sure because I wasn't even sure if I was at, like I said, it was at my bottom, but I'm glad I made that my bottom,
Yeah.
if you will.
Right. Right.
I said bottom.
What do they say when you stop digging? That's when you're at bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
digging.
There you go. I like that one. Well, let's get into some of the fun stuff you brought. Okay, so you have this line called Edub Skate Co.
Right.
Correct?
Correct.
And it is actually your own board, but you are part of a conglomerate.
Right. Well, I mean, these are not the Edub's boards, but I'll explain all of this.
Okay, well, let's
like,
hear it.
all
Let's
that.
just do a little show and tell, and your camera's over there, so
So,
go ahead.
It started out, I started making skateboard wax
Uh-huh.
because a good friend of mine named Brandon, he lives up in Portland. He owns Red F Skateboards, and that's, what
Okay.
these skateboards are. And him and I have grown up together since like middle school. And we were actually sponsored by the same shop,
Mm-hmm.
the one that sent me out to Hawaii. He stayed here, but I'm the one that went out there. So he just reached out to me out of the blue. We were talking. We hadn't talked in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I reached out to him, or he reached out to me, or one of our friends, and he started talking about starting a skateboard company. His own company. So my wheels started turning, and at this time I hadn't like touched a skateboard in years, or thought about it. And I was like, man, I really miss it. Like I really miss skateboarding, loved it. And this was before I got sober too. So
Sure.
I was still
Okay.
kind of like, yeah. So I was like, started thinking about things. I started thinking about skateboard wax, and like I was like, man, that's something I can do. That's
I
something
can do, and I
make,
can still drink.
create.
Yeah.
Right, exactly, exactly. So I started like coming up with these different formulas, trying to make like the perfect wax, like the skateboard wax.
Okay.
And I spent like a long time on it, and I
Sure.
found this like great formula. I use beeswax and some other things,
And some secret ingredients.
Secret
that-
ingredients.
yeah,
I can't
yeah,
talk. Like the
Various
tears
spices.
of children. So I started making the wax as he was starting the skateboard company. Not really. We weren't really doing anything together yet. Kind of like our own separate things. And then the skate wax stuff kind of started to take off a little bit. I started doing that, and then
How are you marketing that?
mostly I was marketing through like social media.
Okay,
like
and people were
Instagram.
just hitting you up and getting the wax because
Right.
you had the hottest board wax in town.
At the time.
Okay, all right.
And we would also go out to like if there was any skateboard competitions, or like events,
gotcha.
I would go up there and set up a booth
Uh-huh.
and kind of show my product and stuff.
I gotcha.
Like that. So I kind of started to do it, and then that's around the time, and my wife at the time, we split up, and I had the heart attack, and I started drinking.
That was the second wife.
yes,
Correct. Okay.
yes.
Cool.
So
Just
like,
wanted to point that out.
yes, thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
So even then, I kind of took a pause from it, and like I really wasn't getting that serious about it.
Sure.
And then after my heart attack, he started to kind of blow up really big with his skateboard company. Started
Okay.
doing a lot of things. So I started getting back with the wax stuff and started making more. And then I had a couple of people reach out to me, like my friends Laid Out Magazine out of Houston reached out to me and wanted me to make custom wax for them.
Okay.
And so that's where I got the Texas shape.
Oh,
And I started doing like the Texas shape wax.
nice.
That started out as
I
a
like
collaboration
anything
with
Texas.
them.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
So I mean, he did really well with this, and so as my friend with Red F started to kind of blow up, actually sponsored a couple of guys here from Texas
Mm-hmm.
that I didn't really know about until we had a conversation. He randomly brought it up. I was like, "You have a skate team out here?" I was like, "Let me be your team manager." So I
Right.
manage these guys. You know, I'll make sure they're putting out footage. They're doing
And
everything.
JP, we're gonna pull that photo up of his skate team. What does it say underneath it?
Red F.
Red of.
Yes, this is the Red F.
This is
Texas
this
team.
is your Red F Texas team,
Right,
Correct.
So-
And we'll go ahead and
So yes, he made me a team manager, and we started doing some collaborations. Of course, that's me. Next
You
to
on
me
the
is
far
David
left.
Rodriguez, Christopher Gomez, and that's Dylan Kingston.
hey, I know Dylan.
Yeah, Dylan comes to skate straight with it. That's
Yeah.
how I met Dylan.
Well, there we go.
And Dylan's such a talented skateboarder,
And he's
such a good
he's
person.
young enough to still be good.
He is. All of them are like, you know, I'm old enough to be their dad, and
Yeah,
I'm like
yeah.
the skateboard, you know, the team dad, you
The
know, like that.
skateboard
So-
dad.
Yeah. So
Cool.
that's our Red F team,
Mhm.
our Texas team, and after that, like at this time, I was still just doing the wax. I became his team manager.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of when COVID hit. And I was recently sober. Him and I had this long conversation about like, what else can we do? Like, what can we do to expand this? Let's do more into it.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, instead of wax, like, why don't you do more? I'm like, I don't know. I never thought
Why don't
about
you
it.
do some
Like,
Sixers, bro?
Yes. So we started doing bearings. I started doing hardware. I actually put out my own boards. They're like kind of the old school shapes, like some you would see in the late 90s,
Right.
early 90s, late 80s. And this is actually one of the graphics from
Oh,
one of my
nice.
boards.
Yeah, that is
But-
the Edub brand.
Yes, but I did a small run and sold out really quickly.
Cool.
And right now it's really hard to get skateboards because of COVID stuff. So it's kind of taking me longer to get stocked back up.
Sure.
So we decided to do like all these other products under the Edub's name,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, well, what else can we do to expand more? So we decided to start a whole skateboard distribution company, like basically an umbrella, a one company umbrella with little companies around it to go out. So now have Red F Skateboards, Edubs, and we're doing Happy Wheel Company and Thieves Trucks.
So it's all in the same family, but everybody just is pitching in.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's all these companies coming out of nowhere under one company.
So what part of that board is yours?
The bearings, so these are the Edub Sixers, the bearings that actually go in the wheels to make them spin.
Sure.
So I have Edub's bearings in here,
Okay.
you know, to make the wheels spin. They're pretty fast. I
Right.
have to say, I like
Okay.
them. And I also do hardware.
It's all ball bearings these days. I got to do the Fletch.
So I do hardware packs with the actual, you know, screws and bolts and the riser pads that go underneath the trucks.
Ah, nice.
So these are the
Why don't you
hardware
hold up
packs.
that board so they can get a good look at it out there?
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Skate Straight sticker.
Was it that camera? Is that the one I'm
Yeah.
looking for?
Yeah, you're good. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a Red F skateboard, Happy Wheels, Steve's Trucks, Edub's bearings and hardware. So every bit of this you can find through our
Sweet.
distribution, which is called Bread Brand.
Okay,
Bread
and
brand
do they have is there a website you want to give out?
Yes. You can find you can just go to edubskateco.com
Okay.
and through Edub Skateco, it'll take you to the Bread Brand website. And you can find everything: Red F's trucks, the wheels, like everything you need.
And clothing too.
Yes, we have
and
t-shirts,
the clothing,
hats.
yes. And while I guess I'll go ahead and do this right now. I always like to do the placing of the sticker, and I'll try not to put it over Kurt.
You still got room. That's
Yeah,
you
I've
still have room.
got real estate. So.
Like a little bottom left-hand corner would be. a
Yeah.
nice
So
little
while we're doing
pick
this,
your own
talk.
place. That's not the way it works.
I mean, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, dude.
There are rules.
You don't get a say so. And I'm like trying to peel this off, but hey, and while I'm over here working with this, I want to give you because I always like to reciprocate the Lone Star shirt,
Awesome.
which
Toss it back here and I'll
right
hand it to
here.
the man.
Y'all can get those at djkellyreverb.com, and obviously all of the proceeds go towards this lovely show right here.
Awesome.
But there you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
And no problem. And then
Actually,
while we're doing that,
I brought you guys a gift
what do you
too.
think right here?
I think that's money.
Right here?
Yeah, we were.
Little not over Sobar Basics.
Yeah.
not over
Little
the
overlap
Phoenix.
for style's sake.
Just enough in there. Yeah, I think that's good.
I think we're good.
All right,
Here you
golf
go.
clap.
I brought you guys.
Oh
gifts
yeah,
as well.
I love this.
Well,
I love this.
soap on a rope.
This
Soap on a
soap
rope.
on a
Soap on a
rope.
rope.
in the shape of a skateboard wheel.
I know that's big,
For now.
right? For now,
Yes.
Yeah, what do we got
Yes.
here?
it smells like bo. No, I'm just kidding. It smells like maybe kind of like a Miller Genuine Draft with a couple cigarettes in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
That
I
actually
love
makes
it.
it
No, that's cool, man. That's so cool. It's like I don't want to open it, but is that a tiny Edub sticker
It
in
is.
there?
It is.
Oh my god, dude! There's gonna be another little tiny Edub sticker.
Well, so one of the things I thought was really cool, kind of listening to both you guys talk. I'm not. I've been to one Skate Straight meeting.
And you did yoga. You
I
participated
did yoga
with the
as
Phoenix.
well. I did the yoga thing at the facility.
Mm-hmm.
But no, one of the cool things I think about the whole deal is what you pointed out. Kurt was only 2 months into this deal,
Sure.
and just sort of had a I don't know. Burning desire, or
Right.
whatever. It was like a calling to get
Sure.
something together.
Hey, and by the way, we forgot in our haste to mention our sponsor,
Yeah,
Summer Sky.
we'll tie it all in.
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
So, 2 months in, and he gets this idea to start this thing up and
Uh-huh.
get people together, and now it's sort of, as time has gone on, become this little bit bigger of a deal, and a lot
Right.
of people have been helped because of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
I'd like to say I'm his first success story. I mean,
There you go.
I have a year sober because of Kurt.
Yeah.
And because of Skate Straight and because of his idea.
Well, and
Right.
that's how it works. I mean, you can tell by the thing he sent Kelly. He credits a lot of what he's got going on to you too. So
Yeah.
it's a man, everybody wins in that deal. But yeah, I mean, we met in rehab.
That is true.
We met in
met
in Summer Sky
in Stephenville, Texas,
Yep.
in a town which I don't necessarily care to go back to, but I will to pay it forward
to pay forward
and talk to the
lads in there?
the lads and lasses in
Yeah.
there. Yes, of course.
But yeah, Summer Sky, Stephenville, Texas, one of our sponsors, which we're very appreciative for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the point is, I guess what I'm saying is, you don't have to have a whole bunch of time to help people.
Right.
You just gotta want to help people.
Yeah,
Right.
and
then
like
follow through.
Kurt had his idea, and then I had my idea for this show, and we've just become entrepreneurs in the sobriety field.
Well,
I
and
guess.
when you can't stop drinking for a day,
Yeah.
somebody who's been sober 3 months, 6 months, or whatever.
Oh my God, dude!
Come on, bro.
No, 30 days.
Yeah.
I was like, how am I gonna make it a week?
Right.
Yeah,
That's a magical,
for sure.
fantastical amount of time
Right.
to someone who's right in the middle of it.
And while we're talking about Summer Sky, I want to go ahead and pull up the shirts that we're going to actually co-op with Summer Sky. So we have the one which, of course, I'm the clever guy behind it. But we kind of simultaneously came up with this one.
No, you came up with it. I just said that's funny.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, okay. You were just my cheerleader on that. But there's there is no magical pill for sobriety. If there was, we'd all take too many. And then the next one, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, this is the one that's going to be with with Summer Sky. But I went to rehab, and all I got was my life back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
love
so
that. We'll get
with
those,
the chair, and it'll have the logos on the back.
We'll get those coming soon. Like
And
I
then,
said.
of course, the Lone Star shirt that you had pulled up there briefly. Those are available at djkellyreverb.com.
You'll know
and-
those are available when we've got them on.
Yeah, the two shirts.
but,
But other than that, I mean, we want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah,
and
thank you
then,
very much.
did you have anything else you wanted to wrap up or say?
No, just
And-
www.summersky.us. That's their website.
Uh-huh.
If you need some help, they are people that help.
Right.
As are Kelly, me, Eric. I mean, we're all
Right.
in sobriety, and we all got here by someone else.
We
helping.
got by with a little help from our friends.
Absolutely, you don't get here
So-
on your own. So
So, and Eric, anybody you want to shout out to real quick?
Real quick, I just want to thank, like Kurt, Stev, everybody from Skate Straight. Thank my friend Brandon from Red Off Skateboards. He's helped me out a lot. He's kind of pushed me towards this. And also I do some stuff with a YouTube channel called Slid Roll.
Okay.
And we actually had a new video drop out today It's
Oh,
just kind
okay.
of a spoof. We're like kind of do a mock energy drink commercial.
Oh,
It's going to
nice.
be kind of funny. So Slid Roll does a lot in the local like
Uh-huh.
skateboarding, BMX, like a lot of extreme sports
Okay.
community. So I do a lot of stuff with them. So check that out. Other than that, like thank you guys very
Cool.
much for having
Sure.
me. It's been great.
Well, all right,
Sure.
JP. I think that is the cue for the music there. Oh, DJ Kathy Reverb. Look out, Kathy. Which button is it? Which button? Wait, is it the level? Oh, she did it.
Everybody have a happy
Look at
Valentine's
that.
Day.
Yeah, everybody have a good Valentine's Day.
safe
And
in
you
the
can
bad
actually
weather.
turn that up so you can hear it. Kath? Oh, yeah, you just, faded in. But hey, everybody, we'll be back next week actually with Simply Grace, Anika. I almost said Annika. It's Anika.
Good to know.
And yeah, she's doing Recovery's Got Talent. That's going to be great.
Yeah.
And just remember, kids, there is no magical pill for sobriety, because if there was, we would all take too many. Thanks, guys.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. But yeah, cool. I like this, dude. That's great.
Yeah.